Crossing the Canadian plains in 1858, Captain Palliser and his expedition came to a band of lush forested hills. These Cypress mountains formed indeed a great contrast to the level country through which we have been traveling. They are covered with timber, the soil is rich, and the supply of water abundant. These hills are a perfect oasis in the desert we have traveled. The native people named the hills for their beauty, their climate. The Sweet Pine Hills, the Grizzly Bear Hills, the Thunder Breeding Hills. The first Europeans to come here, les voyageurs, named the hills again after something they thought they had seen. Mistaking the lodgepole pine for jack pine, or cypress, they called the hills les montagnes aux cypress, or Cypress Hills. Cool beauty, sudden storms, a mysterious highland raised above the prairie. In 1885, geologist Richard George McConnell looked at the hard conglomerate stone that caps the hills and believed he had discovered the secret of their origin. The area now covered by the Cypress Hills has been changed from a depression into the highest plateau of the plains, entirely by the arrest of denudation over its surface by the hard conglomerate beds which cover it. A fortress of cemented mudstone denying the onrush of ancient rivers? A powerful idea, but incomplete. The gravels making up the conglomerate were laid down across an area much broader than the Cypress Hills. Why would the hills be protected and the surrounding conglomerate worn down? The answer is that the hills have always been a drainage divide. Here, the ancestral Missouri and Saskatchewan river systems parted, wearing down the surrounding prairie, creating hills, the Cypress Hills, 20 million years old. Safe at the river's divide, the existence of the Cypress Hills was not tested until a cooling climate sent massive sheets of ice across the continent. From the northeast, the glaciers came, surrounding and carving the hills. But the ice could not engulf the high plateau. It remained an island in the ice, a Nunatak. The glaciers departed, and the forest crept in, covering the land from the Rocky Mountains to the Cypress Hills and beyond. The agent of change was a trend of slow warming. When the climate grew warmer still, the forested plains gradually gave way to grasslands. Only on the cool, moist Cypress Hills did extensive woodlands remain. Land-hugging prairie winds are forced up by the sudden contour of the Cypress Hills. Moisture condenses. Clouds explode in fury. Author Wallace Stegner grew up with these sudden storms. Along the wooded Cooley Cut Plateau, clouds scrape their bottoms and give up rain. The luck of elevation and out of elevation, a special economy. Fescue grassland and forest share the high plateau, an environment more exposed to sun and wind. Drier than the forest, lusher than the surrounding plain, the plateau grassland is rich and varied. Tall, dense tussocks of grass, tangles of shrub, color bursts where wildflowers bloom. In the rare depressions where water gathers and holds, a bounty of different life is spawned. Plant and animal, predator and prey. Unique relationships and habitats, formed because rain fell, snow melted, and the moisture could not easily drain away. Years of dampness, combined with grazing and the control of fire, beckon the trees onto the plateau. Aspen, spruce, and lodgepole pine advance against the grass. Only to be chased back by a decade of dryness or a day of fire. Below the grassy plateau, the damp shade of the sheltered slopes protects remnant mountain-like habitats. wild geranium, white spirea, Townsend solitaire, white-crowned sparrow, land snails, a unique environment for exiled mountain plants and animals, echoes of that distant time when forests spread across a cooler continent. On the sun-washed slopes, a patchwork equally unique, broad hawthorn communities interspersed with other shrubs, grass and forest. The escarpments and the valleys that divide the hills are a unique mosaic of meadow, shrubbery, woodland. From a distance, the forest seems uniform, but each contour of land, each aspect to the sun, has a separate character. The aspen that fight for survival on the exposed plateau grow old and large at the foot of sheltered, north-facing slopes. Spread across the upper slopes and onto the edge of the plateau, forests of lodgepole pine. Able to mature in the absence of fire, they open to the sun. Beneath the trees, mountain grasses. In the wake of a fire, the pine can spring up as thick as dog hair. A forest floor too dark and dry for most life, choked by shade and carpeted with needles. Widespread through these valleys, mixed forest, balsam poplar and aspen, white spruce and pine. The tangle of shrub and flower warmed to berry richness by the dappling sun. The variety of these forests, the bounty of life, nature's reply to the shape and height of these ancient hills. Botanist John McCown studied here in the late 19th century. Water issuing from the hillsides in the form of brooks or springs is very abundant and of the best quality. Fish were seen in all the small brooks. Streams flow into the Saskatchewan on the one hand and into the Missouri on the other. It was no uncommon occurrence to find water less than 100 yards apart in these coulees, flowing in opposite directions. Water carves ravines through the landscape in obedience to gravity, winding in and out of the sun. Cobbles, washed from outcrops, tumble down the watersheds, cast out where the stream turns. A new habitat, a fresh opportunity for life. Another species, the loosened stones, the streamside trees, become tools for impeding the water's flow, for the creation of its habitat. Ancient spillways formed by the meltwaters of receding glaciers accept the spring-fed streams and runoff, delivering them north toward Hudson's Bay or south to the Gulf of Mexico. Where water holds along the valley floor, marshes thrive. Cover for both migrant and nesting birds. One web of life intersecting another. Along the streams, moist forests spared from fire. Spruce seed and grow to towering maturity. Below the spruce canopy, mountain flora, thimbleberry, white spirea, plants localized by landform, drawn to the channels that guide the rains and snowmelt away. Valley walls, saturated by springs, can weaken and suddenly fall. And where they fall, depressions form. Water gathers on the fallen shoulders of valley walls and escarpments. Subterranean streams that undercut the walls now feed new habitats. Unique combinations of sun, shade, moisture, nutrients. Home to some of the rarest, most delicate forms of life. Grass of Parnassus. Orchids. Roundleaf bog. Life adapted to a unique environment. The open pond. The drowned grotto. Man came early to the Cypress Hills, but in the vast spans of geologic time, he is a newcomer. And though he was drawn to this oasis, there's always been a reluctance to colonize and subdue the hills. Wallace Stegner wrote, "The elevation which created this game sanctuary with its amenities of rainfall, living streams, grass, shelter, berries, and timber, served to mark a boundary between tribes and kinds of men." When fur trader Isaac Cowie came here to winter in 1871, he too saw a land that man had not yet begun to master. No Indian for hunting purposes ever set foot on those hills, whose wooded coulees and ravines became the undisturbed haunt of all kinds of game, and especially abounded in grizzly bears. But Cowie also saw what the coming of men like himself would mean for the hills. This natural reservation of the grizzly soon ceased to harbor them after the neutrality of the hills ceased, owing to our invasion. Today, cattle graze the land the Indians so respected, that long ago stood above the rivers of ice. Certainly, there has been damage, but much has stayed the same. The thread connecting the natural past and the present has never been broken. The Cypress Hills endure as a family of natural worlds, a mountain sanctuary unlike anything in the broad prairie that surrounds them. High Plains remnant, Ice Age Nunatak. here, where the hills are a fortress and the rivers divide.